don't need to settle. You should find somebody that when you look at them, you think this is the full package, and I'm very, very content. Hey there, my handsome men for little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. If I'm still wearing the same shirt in all of these videos, it's because yes, I am bulk filming. My makeup on fleek, my voice ready, so we're just gonna film. Alright, so today's video is going to be relationship advice from a 7-year dating minimalist. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. This is actually a subscriber request. It was in one of my Instagram stories. But anyway, the question was like, do you have any advice, any relationship advice as a minimalist? So I'm actually gonna be talking about that because I've actually been asked that multiple times. People seem to find my relationship with Will pretty fascinating. And maybe for people who are new, I've been with my partner for 7 years and he proposed this year. So we are fiancés this year. So yeah, hopefully upcoming years we'll be married as well. Yeah, what kind of advice can I give from a minimalist perspective being in a long-term relationship? Like, number one, less stuff is less fighting. So I think that one of the reasons that my relationship with Will has been very smooth is because for the majority of our relationship, I've been a minimalist. So I've been a minimalist. We've been dating 7 years, and for 6 years of that, I was a minimalist. There we go. That sounds so much better. I heard that things that most couples fight over is like money and chores, like division of labor in the house. We barely own much stuff. There was really not much cleaning to be had other than doing laundry and doing dishes. And since he's pretty minimalistic and I'm pretty minimalistic, there wasn't a lot of laundry to do. There wasn't much furniture to clean, and we had a minimal amount of dishes, so doing dishes was really easy. And with small amount of dishes, there was never a like, you do the dishes, I'll do it next, or anything like that. It was like, no, like I'll wash the dishes. No, it's okay, I got it. It's like you wash 2 bowls and a plate, like not a lot. So I think that Will and I never fought over what people commonly fight over. And the other thing is money, right? So we are pretty Dutch in our relationship. We do split most things 50-50, but I guess we're a little bit traditional. Will does sometimes pay a little bit more, which is our relationship. Everybody's different, and I don't know how this is gonna rub people the wrong way or not. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to say is he's never really ever felt pressured to take care of me because I'm so minimal, I hardly buy anything. The things that Will treats me to is what most people would consider necessities, like, I don't know, toothpaste. Will treats me to necessities because I won't buy those things for myself because I like being frugal and I like being minimalist. So in terms of that, he's never felt the need to buy me luxury bags. He's never felt the need to buy me makeup. He's never, I mean, it's not to say that he hasn't treated me to these things, he has. And I've treated myself to these things too. But what I'm trying to say is money-wise, we've never fought over money because I can't let go of $1. And I wouldn't ask of others to do what I myself wouldn't do. Like, I wouldn't buy these expensive things for myself. So Will has never had to worry that I'm gold digging and gonna ask that of him. So I think in that sense, he got lucky. It was kind of like dating a dude. We've gone Dutch with him on almost everything: rent, food, entertainment, what have you. We've just gone 50-50. I feel better that way. I wouldn't put that financial pressure on him. So yeah, financially, minimalism has helped a lot in terms of like, I don't buy much, so he doesn't have to worry that she's, you know, high maintenance or whatever. I'm definitely high maintenance, don't get me wrong, I'm high maintenance. I love me a good glammed look, and Will has had to wait a lot for me to finish doing my face and my hair. I am very high maintenance, but I'm very cheap. I'm both high maintenance and low maintenance at the same time. I don't cost a lot. Like I'm very fuel efficient. I'm an expensive car. I'm like a Tesla. Like I run on electricity, but I'm expensive as hell. Is that the way to phrase it? Yeah, okay. The point that I'm trying to say is that financially, I've never put that kind of burden on Will because that's not how I live. So it's not something that he has to live with. Like, I'm not running us into debt. I'm not saying that we need to go eat at expensive restaurants or we need to buy expensive clothes or spending all our money on this and that. I don't do that to us. So I think that in that sense, our relationship has been very healthy because of that. But the next thing that I think has also alleviated a lot of stress in our relationship is that we don't have clutter to deal with. Will hates clutter and I hate clutter, and we don't have clutter, so we don't deal with clutter. So our space is very comfortable. Like, we always praise our room, like, our room is so comfy. It's like, even our like homeroom teacher, when she'd come to the dorm rooms and she would see our room, she's like, wow, this is the cleanest room I've ever seen. Like, our rooms were very, very clean, very minimal, very tidy. So I think that we were never stressed out by our environment, and then we would take the stress out on each other. So that definitely helped a lot. I think the next tip that I also have as to why our relationship is pretty healthy and lasted a really long time, we don't have a consumeristic lifestyle. Like, we'd go to the mall to like window shop, and I have mentioned that I love to window shop, but I don't think that wasn't our only hobby. Like, we like to go to the movies, we also like to go to the park, we rode a lot of the Uber bikes in China, those like bike program, we like to walk in the river, we like to go into nature. together. We like to like watch TV together, watch dramas together, just be in each other's presence together, read books, go to cafes together. We've done a lot of things. It's not very consumeristic, and I think that also alleviates a lot of strain that maybe couples might have if the only thing in common you have is just shopping together on the weekend. We have other things to talk about. And the other thing I think that minimalism has helped with like helping our relationship last a really long time is that, and I don't know if this is minimalistic per se, but Will and I have always been advocates for each person having their own hobbies. We have our own interests. We are not attached at the hip. Although we do spend a lot of time together, we do live from home. We live from home. We work from home. We're in the same career path, both teachers, both dentists. We know that the other person needs their own space. Like when I chill with my girls, it's just me and my girls. When Will chills with his friends, he goes play ball with his friends. If he needs to run his own errands, he runs his own errands. We're not always attached at the hip. We also, when we grocery shop, he buys what he wants, I buy what I want. No one's telling somebody else what to do. We have our own interests. He loves ball. I don't care about basketball, but he doesn't force that on me. I love makeup. I don't force that on him either. But I guess over time you start to kind of like fuse. I don't know anything about basketball, but now I know more about the Toronto Raptors than I think I ever would if I didn't know Will. And I think Will probably can tell the difference between a mascara brush and a lipstick because of me. Important to have your own interests, and you really shouldn't have to we're twinsies. I don't think that's healthy. But again, everyone's relationship is different, but I just think that us having our separate interests has helped a lot. The other thing that we also do is that we don't tell each other what to do, and we're very respectful of each other's opinions, and we don't name call each other when we have disagreements. So I mean, let's be real here. We all know that when you're in a relationship, you do, butt heads every now and then, and over time it's kind of like milled, but it's kind of like we've hit heads, but it's kind of refined itself over time. We're a lot more chill. The things that used to bother us when we were younger, in our early 20s, are not there now that we're in our 30s, but there's always new problems. But the baseline is we have really good communication, and we're very respectful of each other. When we have disagreements, we say, you know what, I understand that you don't agree with me on this, blah, 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 but I think this, or I feel hurt about this. One of the things, our communication also improved over time. I remember Will, he's the type of stone-faced person. He doesn't like to express his emotions, and he doesn't want to talk about his feelings, doesn't want to talk about his emotions. But as somebody who's very emotional, as a Libra, I'm an air sign, I kind of showed him that it's okay to talk about your feelings, and it's better to voice how you feel instead of being passive aggressive. If I'm hurt or if I'm sad, I'm not gonna shut you out. I'm gonna tell you, I feel hurt. This hurt me. Let's work on it. Let's improve it. We don't name call each other. It's not to say that we haven't had our nasty fights. I definitely think we have. As a whole, we don't damage our relationship by putting each other down. We just kind of talk about what's the issue that's bothering us. This hurts me, I feel this, I feel that, I think this, I think that, and we're respectful that sometimes we don't agree. Sometimes we just leave it at that. Honestly, we don't agree, and we just leave it at that, and we move on with our lives. We don't force the other person to have to see the same perspective as the other person. At the end of the day, I think that a relationship is about compromise and loving each other, and not always feeling like you need to be right, and understanding that people are imperfect, because honestly, we're not perfect either. People have their flaws and we have flaws, and loving each other despite their flaws, I think, is one of the foundations of a healthy relationship. I don't ask anything of Will. I accept Will for who he is, and I think that that's at the core of a healthy relationship. When you enter a relationship, you look at who they are. You don't imagine if he was like this, or if he changed this, or if that person will always fall short of your expectations, and you in turn will always be frustrated. When I look at Will, everything that Will is and everything that he isn't is just fine. I love Will. If he changed, I'd love him that way, and if he didn't change, I love him that way too. Who he is today and just Will as a person is enough for me. I don't think I wish Will was this, I wish Will was that. I think that in my past relationships, I was very judgmental, and I wanted to change them to suit what I felt somebody else should be, which I think is very immature and very selfish. We shouldn't ask that of people, because flip it around. You wouldn't want somebody wanting you to change, thinking you should be like this and you should be like that. You want to be loved for who you are, and to have that freedom to be yourself and express yourself in the way that you feel most comfortable. So I'm lucky. Will does the same with me. Will doesn't ask me to do this. Will doesn't tell me to do that. And that sense of freedom and that sense of comfort and that sense of security, I think, is also probably really key to our relationship. You should find somebody who you like for who they are. If you find that you really don't like certain aspects of them, maybe you should reevaluate the relationship. That's something that I had done. I had 2 boyfriends before I was with Will, and there were a lot of deal breakers that I kept trying to excuse over and over again. And you shouldn't with so many like billions of people in this earth, you don't need to settle. You should find somebody that when you look at them, you think this is the full package and I'm very, very content. You shouldn't think I wish it was this and I wish it was that, because that's just a really sad way to live one's life in a relationship. I don't think I did a very good job with this video, but I just took it to speak from the heart. I hope that this video helped out anybody else out. I think that minimalism does alleviate a lot of problems between couples. Give it a try, and yeah, thank you for having come to watch the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.